Did I ever tell y'all by the time I ate a brownie over in Jamaica on my 25th wedding anniversary and thought that my whole body was fit to combust and turn into flames? Hold on a minute. All right, so here's what happened. I decided, I was like, hey, it's the 25th anniversary. Let's get a brownie from the people flipping backwards in the woods that you don't know. And they selling brownies that they done made somewhere in their house. Okay, everybody was buying them, so I was like, I'm going to buy them. My husband told me, don't buy that brownie. He was like, don't buy that brownie, baby. I was like, we've been married 25 years. Let's do it. Be right back. Okay, so I get the brownie. We on the van with a bunch of other people. We had cruised over there to Jamaica. We had took a cruise. So we on the van. We was with a group of, another group of elderly people. A few young people was on the van. So the man was going to take us by Scotchies to get some beer can jerk chicken. So the whole time my husband sitting over there, he was like, oh, Lord. So I hadn't opened the brownie yet. So take us to this little shopping area. I'm still looking at the brownie. So by this time, I said, I'm going to eat a piece because another guy on the bus had brought a brownie. He was opening his. I said, I'm fixing to eat my brownie too. Before we get back to the ship, I'll go on and eat the brownie. Nobody told me you don't eat the entire brownie. First of all, I should have never bought it, but I was in Jamaica, so who cares? I ate the brownie. I ate half of the brownie. It was good too. So I was like, okay, I'm just eating half of them. My mind didn't tell me, don't eat this brownie. Don't eat much. Take a piece of the brownie. No, I want to eat the half. Y'all, by the time we got the scotches, and my husband was like, what you want? I said, I ain't getting out. I said, my feet hot. So he was like, your feet hot? I said, yeah, just bring me, just get whatever chicken you going to get and just bring me something. I'm going to stay on the van. Y'all. So my husband was like, come on, don't stay on this van. Get on off. So I walked back there with him to order the chicken. It was a long line. By the time I get to the back of the place back there at Scotches, I started feeling like I'm getting ready to pass out. So by this time, the heat done left my feet, and it's coming up on the sides of my rib cage, all behind my ears. So I looked at him. I say, I got to go back to the van because that's where the AC is. So he said, oh, he was like, you all right? I said, I can make it. I'm fine. So, you know, the driver done got out the van. They drive on the wrong side of the road in Jamaica. I headed back to the van. First of all, when I got down there, I went to the wrong van. So the man saw me. The man saw me. He knew I had bought that brownie. So he saw me. So he was like, no, wrong van. So I went over that guy in the van. I opened the door. I sat down. Y'all, I was in the driver's seat. The people in the back of the van at this time done start laughing. I done got on the wrong side of the van. I'm in the man. And I started looking around like, what is all this stuff? You in the man driver's seat. So the driver came and he said, no, go around to the other side. By this time, that man knew this lady is in trouble. My feet were so hot, y'all. So the lady in the back of the van, she was an older lady. She asked me, she said, you all right? I said, no. I said, y'all, I done ate that brownie. That brownie is running through my body. I need some help. So my husband came back and the man turned around and he said, look here, baby, you are in Jamaica. You gonna have to ride the wave. He said, don't let it overtake you. I was like, what wave? The other boy who done ate the brownie, he coming back. His mama holding him. He looked like his eyes had done, both his eyes had done went to one socket. When I got back to that ship, and the man was like, we got to stop by the ATM. I'm back there sitting by my husband. So he said, drink some of this Pepsi. I done drunk the Pepsi. The Pepsi tasted like pure cane syrup. I couldn't even, nothing was working. My body was so hot, nothing was working. So we get back to the pier. I didn't even wait for that man to stop that van good. I snatched that door open and took off. But I was walking so fast. The people on the van laughing. I hadn't gave them people all my information. I told them my address and everything. I said, if anything happened to me over here, this is where I live. The older lady was like, you're going to be fine, baby. You all right. I said, no, I'm not. You know, the ship pulled out at about 3, 4. When I woke up, it was chicken bones, pie, cookies. The tub was full of water. I was laying up in that room, and it was at 4 a.m. in the morning. We was out to sea. I missed dinner. I don't know who ordered them chicken wings. I don't remember nothing. So the next morning we get up. I go to breakfast. Why the people who was on the van with me started clapping? They was like, oh my God, we glad you made it. We glad you okay. We were so worried about you. Moral of the story, leave them brownies alone in Jamaica. I don't care if it's your 55th anniversary. Drink you a red stripe and leave them brownies to them people in the woods, flipping through them woods with that stuff. Leave that stuff alone. Okay? And we was married 25 years. We've been married 34 years now, and I still don't mess with them brownies when I go to Jamaica.